Going on with everybody up out there? Welcome to the Fans Point of View podcast with your host, the most unknown known podcaster that is up out there, Truckin Chubbzy, aka Clarence Hampton III. This ain't your coaches and pros, your X's and O's. This is the Fans Point of View and what I know. So let's go. All right. Oh yes, man. Oh yeah, the New Year's coming up. The New Year is coming up, and I wonder if anybody got any resolutions, New Year's resolutions and whatever else this year, and what y'all really want to get into. I mean, I'll probably have a another show coming up here soon, and we'll get into that. That'll be a whole topic. That'll be a whole thing for the whole day. The way that we'll talk about New Year's resolutions and so forth and so on. But for right now, y'all know it's midweek college football. We got bowl games coming up. Even though a lot of people say they're meaningless, but if your school ain't in one, then it maybe it's meaningless. But to everybody out there that's playing and that grinded so hard to make it to a bowl game, I want to give my most up due respect to all of these college athletes that made it to a bowl game and that is playing in a bowl game, because to see one of my favorite heroes, Coach Dion Prime Sanders, that's not in a bowl game right now. And that hurts me to see my childhood heroes team not in a bowl game right now. But still, I want to give, the utmost respect and give a round of applause to everybody that did make it to a bowl game. All right. Because it's fantastic. It's fantastic that they did make it into a bowl game, regardless of everything else. You know what I'm saying? Of anything that may be going on. They made it to a bowl game. They grinded very hard to get there to that point. And I don't want to take nothing from these college athletes, man, because they grind very hard to make it to the point where they made it at. So today we are going to talk about we're gonna get into some of these bowl games. Some of these losses and wins in the bowl games. We're also going to talk about a little bit of Colorado and what does Colorado need and why. Like a lot of Colorado Buffaloes fans out there think that they need so much more. They need linebackers. I heard linebackers. I've heard defensive tackles. We even heard Coach Prime come out and with a tweet saying that saying it's not done yet. Not this is not verbatim, but he wanted another linebacker, another defensive tackle, and even the Syracuse coach got into it a little bit. Tell them to stop past your cousins, because Syracuse took a shellacking of they got took into the woodshed. We're gonna talk old school. You know what I mean? USF took them to boys to the woodshed, which was crazy. And we're gonna talk about a little bit of these bowl game surprises and wins, because I like to give credit when credit is due, and I like to talk about a little bit of every team, but primarily focused on Colorado. But there's so many channels out there that give you great Colorado content, and I do come in and I speak on Colorado. I do. But there's so many people out there that give you great Colorado content out there. So I like to spread around a little bit, you know what I'm saying, and hit on each and every person, because all my viewers and supporters matter to me, no matter where y'all at, where it is. If you support me and you watch me on a consistent basis, I like to give you updates on your team and your squad. So with no further ado, I want to get up into it. All right. Let me get up into it here. Figure this out. Let me get this all pulled up. Let me get this college schedule pulled up so I could be able to see so I can see the comments and all that. Working on my laptop while I'm going, you got to. So I want to be able to see the chat and all of that good stuff while we up in there. The chat is pretty dead at the moment, which is understandable, and everything, but that's all good, because whether it's people's in here or not, I still like to give all my effort, no matter if it's one person, two people, 20 people, 100 people. It don't matter. You're always going to get the same Truckin Chubbzy, no matter what it is. That's just how I roll here, all right? And until I build up a fan base too. So I'm trying to get up to 5,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. I need a lot more people to watch, you know what I'm saying, so I can get my YouTube going, man, so that I can bring y'all daily content, and and be sustainable with that. Part of the reason, if anybody ever wondered out there why am I not bringing daily content, that's because I have a family to support. And right now, monetization is not come my way right now. Even though I'm like right there on the cusp, I still need like probably 1,200 more hours of watch time in order to be monetized. So watch, and once that happens for me, then I will jump on it a lot more. But up until that point, I definitely need to support my family. So up until that point where, people start watching me a lot more, then that's when I'll start bringing more content every day on a daily basis. But up until then, I got to work. You know what I mean? Got to bring that money home. Thank you for joining in and watching the show. I appreciate you. Make sure that you like and you share the stream. I appreciate that too. But we're going to get in talking about a little bit of bowl games, but we're going to talk about Colorado too. So I want to talk about Colorado and what is it out there that y'all think that y'all need so much of: linebackers, defensive tackles. I see that they got a linebacker. You got a linebacker out there, um, defensive tackles, and everything else. So I want to, answer some questions. I want to get the ball rolling on some of that stuff. I want y'all to interact and tell me what your thoughts are on a lot of things, and I'll bounce some ideas off, and we can get this conversation rolling here, because I see that linebackers was a big thing. To me, I didn't really think that Colorado needed linebackers. Seeing who you brought in and everything else, let's not forget that Levante Bentley had a horrible season, right? To a lot of people, from what it looked like, he had 59 solo tackles. You're bringing in guys who don't have that much more of a solo tackles, but this is what this is for. You know what I mean? For us to talk it out and see what's going on here. Let's get a better feel for everything that's going on. Okay, and some of your wish lists and all that. So I've been paying attention to a lot of college football and a brighter spectrum everywhere. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at what Colorado is doing. It's fantastic what Coach Prime is doing up there, and the staff. Let's give them credit too. It's fantastic. They're bringing in guys. Like I said, to me, it's all about discipline. All these guys are disciplined characters. They're not the superstars that have attitude and not discipline with that. You know what I mean? They have character, but they need discipline. Penalties killed Colorado last year. Absolutely killed them. So many penalties, whether it was, and a lot of mental mistakes. But these guys are militant minded that they're bringing in, disciplined, and therefore that's going to cut down on a lot of the penalties. So many penalties last year, and now you're getting guys in who will cut that completely in half. Even half of those penalties would be better. You know, let's not forget that even with Shador being the most sacked quarterback in the NCAA, okay, he still finished 20th in passing yards. That's amazing. 20th in the whole NCAA, being the most sacked quarterback, arguably one of the worst offensive lines there is. So he finished 20th, right? He only threw 3 picks the whole season. So when you're looking at that, you're like, okay, you need an offensive line to upgrade, okay, right? Okay. You get to looking at the defense. The defense gave up a tremendous amount of rushing yards. They did. They gave up a lot of rushing yards. They were last in the Pac-12 as far as defense goes in the Pac-12. Where does that leave the linebackers? Was that all on the linebackers, though? That's the question. That's the main question, and a lot of people want to know. To me, no, it was not. You get to looking at the film and studying the film a lot. A lot of the defensive linemen were not filling their gaps. They were not on their assignments. Therefore, the pressure goes up to the linebackers. And if the linebackers are struggling, then it goes to Shiloh. Is which why Shiloh Sanders, a safety, had 55 tackles, four less than the linebacker on the team. This is why that stuff happens, because you're putting so much more pressure on your linebackers, because the first wave aren't doing their job correctly, falls back on the linebackers. Then the linebackers have to come in, take on another offensive lineman, big 300, 280, 90 pounder, whatever, between 280 and 300 pounds of a guy. Excuse me, getting a phone call. And when you got that going on, now that's why Shiloh Sanders is coming in and having to make 55 tackles in a season. That's a lot for a safety. Let's be clear. That's a whole lot for a safety. Thank y'all for joining in. I hope that y'all like and share the stream. Get it out there, get it floating around. Let's get this conversation going about CU. What do you guys think you need? Um, and why you think you need them. I'm here to answer questions and also give my thoughts on things too. So get down in the chat if you will. But like to keep going on and speaking on this, and then you get to looking at sometimes with the the outside linebackers slash defensive ends edge. Do you know what I mean? That's what an edge is. An edge is a hybrid defensive end outside linebacker, a guy who can play both technically if needed to in a certain the way the scheme of the defense is set up to be in that particular play, right? They're supposed to sometimes they're supposed to, hold up and take the running back off the screen, shut those down a lot of the times, or they rush the quarterback. Okay. So they have that to worry about. Sometimes that was out of place. And I know it's not a popular opinion. It's not what everybody wants to hear. But I'm not here all the time to tell you exactly what you would like to hear. I'm here to tell you some of the tough things that you may not willing to be able to accept as being a diehard fan of your said university, right? So paying attention and seeing what's going on, I honestly didn't think that happened. I'm ecstatic for the Buffaloes to have landed DJ Lundy. Let's not get that twisted, because he is a very good run stopper. He is. Now, it's going to look a whole lot better. This defense is a whole lot better, seeing the discipline that you guys brought in on the defensive line alone. Now, I explained about Samuel Okinola upon the David Talks Buff show, but those people who did miss it and did not see that show, like I said, him coming from Pitt, he wasn't the biggest playmaker there was out there, or however you want to put that, but he was always in the right spot when he needed to be there. He always turned the play inside or made the play stretch outside and pushed the play back. He always done that. Now watch the film, pay attention. That's discipline. That's what Charles Kelly wants in this defense. That's what Charles Kelly needs in this defense. And that's what Shiloh and Trevor also need. Do I want to see Trevor Woods drop back to safety? Absolutely, 100%. I want to see him drop back to safety, because they're dangerous back there. Him and Shiloh back there shuts everything down. Nothing's getting past them. They're that great at what they do. Okay. Now, seeing Keaton Wade, I really can't evaluate on him too much because I didn't check all his film, but I will. And when I do check out everything as far as Keaton Wade, I'll give y'all a better analysis upon him. I have seen Chidozie, and I like what I seen out of Chidozie. I love what I seen out of him. I'm gonna start calling him Bulldozer. That's a bulldozer. He really is. He really uses his hands a lot, a whole lot, and so to speak, undersized. I hate that word in football. I swear I hate that. That's not how I measure a football player, because look, I'm only 5'6", and I play outside linebacker through high school, and I play outside linebacker semi-professional football, and I was successful at the position, believe it or not. Anyway, so size to me, I can hate that. I hate when people say size. That don't matter to me. It's the heart and the line. It's the heart you go out there with, the physicality you go out there and ball with, and your awareness and your smarts. And he has all of that. I think he should have been on the field a lot more. Maybe he wasn't on the field as far as his stamina is. So maybe that's something he'll work on at CU. I don't know what the scheme was down there in Houston, why they only pulled him off. Some of the times when it was passing defense and when it was a rush defense, they left him on the field. You can tell. Watch the film for yourself if you can't take my word for it. Now, like I said, he uses his hands. He always is around the ball. Even with a defender or two on him, he's going to draw a double team. You cannot single block Chidozie. That's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. Offenses are going to have their hands full trying to block him one-on-one. That is not going to happen. And I guarantee you, and I'm willing to bet any amount of money right now, every time he's single blocked, Chidozie will be back there getting a sack. What's up? What's going on? Okay, now. What's going on? I appreciate the love I'm getting. I appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? Talk. What do y'all think about that? But still, and then you go looking at the guy like Anquan Barnes when he coming in. What will he do? What will he provide? We know what Bishop Thomas will do. Bishop, even him, even sometimes Bishop Thomas, you know, he was struggling with a little bit of injury last year with Colorado, right? You know, some things was going on with him, a little bit banged up. But even him, sometimes he was a little bit out of place sometimes in that defense. It took a while for him to catch on to the schemes too. But once he did, we seen how that defense was working. Now then that's when you started noticing like, okay, now we need, oh, I see exactly what we need. We need some pressure coming from the outside now. We need some ends, some edges. Need oh man, maybe we do need a linebacker or two. But it wasn't. It just wasn't. You know what I'm saying? When you got great, when you have a great defensive line that demands a double team, there's no lineman getting to the linebackers. That's what you want as an offense. As offense, you want your linemen to be able to get to the second level and block a linebacker. But if your defensive line is great at what they do, they're never getting back there to the linebackers in the first place. That's not happening. And then if that happens, 9 times out of 10, when you got somebody who's 240 pounds versus somebody who's 290 plus pounds, we know how that's going to come out. We know the outcome of that. They're going to get blocked. They're going to get shielded some way. And there's a play to be made, right? Some running backs going right past them because it doesn't take that much. But seeing that he wants to bring in another linebacker definitely lets me know that they definitely want Trevor Woods back there with Shiloh. That's dangerous. I said it and I'll say it again. Bold statements. That's what you're going to get here. You're going to get a lot of bold statements from me. That's just what I do. And I love bringing them. Okay. Now, this defense, the way it is on paper right now, without the additions that Coach Prime wants Santa to bring him, is a top 3 defense in the Big 12 right now. He knows that. He knows that. He, without a doubt, Coach Prime, and I said this, he'll bring in the people he needs. If he thinks they need to upgrade that position, he'll bring them in. And if he keeps going the way that this defense looks now with the discipline that it has now, I don't see why Colorado cannot be dominant in the Big 12. I just don't see that. Even with the offensive line that they already brought in, disciplined players. No, they're not they're not pancaking every single play. No, they're not catching every block. But if you look at the tape on let's say like Khalil Benson from Indiana, you look at some of his tape, you would say, well, why didn't he pick up this guy and not play? Well, you got to pay attention to the play. Sometimes when that blitz comes, they're so smart and they know that this blitz is coming. They have to stay in their place, protect their lane, stay in their lane, stay in their gap. You know what I mean? Stay in their gap and wait for somebody to cross your face. If they don't cross your face, then you help and you pick up who's in front of you, right? Or how that goes. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes in a defense, when you see blitzes coming, okay, so let's say he's a right guard. They're blitzing off the left side of the defense, would be his side, right? They're blitzing and they do a double stunt and they twist and they come around. So you got the outside pressure coming, the outside pressure is coming in, and then now you have that linebacker trying to come through. If he moves outside, that leaves that linebacker untouched, coming straight for the quarterback. He stays in his lane, disciplined on that play, even if it seems like he's not blocking somebody. He's still there for the protection. That pocket's still there. And as long as these guys, and this is what they're going after, they're going after discipline. That's what they're going after. I see it, and I like that because that's exactly what they need. And as long as you can give Shedeur Sanders that amount of time to make plays, if you give Shedeur 3 seconds, he had 2 seconds, y'all, and he finished 20th in the NCAA in passing yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's huge. That's huge, y'all. To finish 20th and the most sacked in the whole NCAA, like, come on. Hey, look, give him a half a second more, and he'll get another full second with this offensive line they're bringing in because they're disciplined. And if they're disciplined, he'll have 3 to 4 seconds to pass. And Shador will probably, that's why he's the Heisman front runner. They know already because that's exactly what's going to happen. He's going to light up the NCAA, something like they probably never seen before. He got a chip on his shoulder on top of everything because he don't like losing. They're not used to losing. And now he's gonna come out busting everybody's ass, and they're gonna probably like, oh wow, well, pause. But they're probably gonna be like, wow, this is something like we never seen. Because he can make all the throws even under duress. So when you're giving him that time, it's just watch out. And all the weapons they have on offense, man, you can forget about it, man. I mean, look at all the weapons that they have. Like, man, look, I named some of them yesterday, and I'll continue to name them. But let me get this. Let me get my list real quick, so that I'm making sure that I'm giving y'all the correct people, and I'm not mixing up names or just throwing names out there, so y'all don't think I'm throwing names out there. So, okay, when you got a Will Shepherd, right? Jimmy Horn Jr., Travis Hunter, Terrell Timmons Jr., Cordell Russell, Omarion Miller, Traylon Miller, Cameron McHale. Like, man, listen to me, listen. Weapons, weapons, right? That's going to look crazy. Let's not forget with that backfield, Alton McCaskill and what Dylan Edwards is going to put in that work. Alt McCaskill gonna have a hell of a year. Him and Dylan are. I almost believe. I want to believe because it's so much of a hard decision to make right now, which is a good problem for CU's offense. But you want to think that they're going to share carries. That's the only way that you think possibly this offense could work properly is them sharing carries 50-50. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they're probably going to go with like a first, second down back, depending on the play and how it's going. I guess I don't know. You know what? I don't even want to make predictions on that because I don't know how that's going to go because they're both great to me. You know what I'm saying? We know what they can do. We know the work that they're going to put in back there in that backfield. We know they're going to go off, period. They both might. Let's not be surprised if they both going for 800, you know what I'm saying, 800 yards rushing. I don't know, all purpose, over 1,000 all purpose yards, both of them together. Don't be surprised if that happens because they both can catch out of the backfield. They're both dynamic runners. Dylan's a little bit more shifty, but Dylan is low key strong. A lot of people like to say because he's a little undersized, but he's strong as an ox. He's strong. Believe that or not, low base. That's an advantage that shorter guys have over these tall guys. We got a low base, low center of gravity, strong, and when you're solid and you just bounce off people. Like I'm like, period. They bounce right off your legs. Bounce right off. You can't bring you down. You're already low to the ground. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna try to break down in front of a short, fast running back? You're gonna get ran right over. Or they're gonna put her foot in the ground and run right around them. Either or. So and he's just that dangerous to make that happen. We seen him run between tackles, but it's gonna look a lot better, a whole lot better, even with it the way it looks right now on paper. On paper, it is. I want to just thank y'all out there for tuning in. I'll give my best to no matter who it is. I love each and everybody who tunes in, and I appreciate it. Make sure that y'all liking, y'all sharing the stream. Any questions y'all got, feel free to hit me up in the chat and ask them. If you think anything other than what I'm saying, go ahead, put it out there. That's what this is for us to chat, talk, and everything else. Now, I know I went straight to that offense. I talked about that defense too. So, I got a lot of that out there. The offense and the defense of Colorado. Okay. Just good problems to have. That's why I believe they want to make another move to our linebacker. If they're going to make one, and he's looking like they are, is to have Trevor Woods drop back to safety back there with Shiloh. Super dangerous. Kermani McLean, Travis out there. You still got like Slush, Cameron Solomon, Craig. I'm not sure what how that's gonna work out, but you got outside linebackers, and they didn't go after just defensive linemen who can rush. They went after edges, meaning that they can drop back in certain schemes to outside linebacker. Keaton Wade, Samuel Okanola, they're both edges. That's the hybrid. So we'll see how the way that things are shaping up. He wants one more defensive tackle also, and that's to add depth and some more discipline there. It's looking everything is looking great, and this is what everybody's doing. All the coaches are doing this all around the NCAA. They're all doing it. However, they just don't have to do it on the scale that he has because he has to replace a lot. They're going in there plugging five positions because they already have a whole kingdom of players, or they already had a big roster. You know what I'm saying? So now they're plugging in what they need at, and that's probably what 5, 6 positions, but he's plugging depth and everything that he needs. That's why it looks like this. But look, I'm excited this for CU fans. Give yourself a round of applause. Like, y'all great, man. Like what's going on out there right now is nothing short of amazing. And the way that they're hitting this portal, I really do like it. Discipline, discipline, discipline. That's what he's going after. That's what they need on that team. Leadership and some discipline. And look, after that, it's the sky's the limit. It was hard for me to honestly predict the schedule yesterday because and I picked some wild ass teams to lose. That's because honestly, I really don't want to say that CU is going to lose any games for real. I really don't want to, especially in the Big 12. Um, Teams that's familiar with CU and familiar, I think like have the best chance of taking them down, such as like Arizona, Utah. But to be honest, I don't think nobody can fuck with CU, man. Like like for real, like deep for real, deep down, I cannot. Realistically, I know when you're rebuilding a roster, the way that he went about rebuilding the roster, you gotta take some L's. You're gonna lose. Um, but me being a huge Coach Prime fan since I was little and everything, and wanting to see him succeed, I don't want them to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't want to say that they're gonna lose. You know what I mean? If it happens, it happens. But I don't want to come out. It's hard for me to say like that they're gonna lose. So that's why when you see me making the predictions I made, if you watch this show, like it was some bullshit games because I really don't feel like they're gonna lose. I don't want to say that Coach Prime is gonna lose. Like I don't want to say that because I don't see nobody fucking with Coach Prime. In my head, he is fucking Superman, Aquaman, Batman, all that to me. Like literally. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like literally. Like I used to get paid dollars to do the Deion Sanders dance in the living room. Like, you know what I mean? My mom called me downstairs. She having company. Come show them how to do the Deion. Come. I give you $1. Like, all right, now here I come. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how that used to go. Like, I know it's funny, whatever, but look, man, like I don't see nobody messing with CU. I really honestly cannot say that. I think the people who had the best chance once again is Arizona and Utah. Probably had the best chance of giving them a L. Other than that, I think that college football is not ready for Shador Sanders next year and what he's about to do with the revamped offensive line that he has. No, I don't think that they're the super greatest offensive line out there. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I don't want to go as far as to saying they're gonna go undefeated, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not. What's going on? What's going on, It? Yeah, I'm trying to go live a lot more now to try to build up some kind of a fan base. I got to get more people watching me live. I need 1,200 more hours of YouTube time in order to be monetized. And that way I could drop content every single day, hit them in the head every single day with content, and I could really sit back and focus on doing what I love to do. But up until that point and that happens, like I gotta work, you know what I'm saying? I gotta go out there, keep a 9 to 5, a steady one, and get these bills paid and everything because I'm not getting like nothing from YouTube at all. Nothing. So but I do love doing this and I do it when I can and I bring videos when I can to everybody. Some people take that sacrifice and do that, but however I can't. I have a family and I just cannot leave them to do something that I love to do. And right now, this is no more than a hobby because I'm not really bringing in revenue doing this. So it's considered a hobby at the moment. You know what I'm saying? I do want to turn this into something else and keep going forward, and that'll happen. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's why I'm not dropping content. I know a lot of people would like, I want to see you more and everything else, but hey, look, I got to take care of what I got to take care of. Um, But look, any questions out there, feel free to ask them. Anything you want to say. Other than that, look, y'all, I kicked it with y'all for a half an hour. I'm gonna try to get back on later on today to keep bringing y'all updates and make sure that y'all add me on Facebook, Instagram. I got TikTok, X, which is Twitter, even Twitch. I'm really not on there a lot. So yeah, hit me up on X, Facebook, YouTube, add all of those. Make sure y'all subscribe. And yeah, I'll see y'all later. And let me know y'all who y'all teams are, college teams. I would like to bring updates on all of my supporters teams, not just, focus on one team, but to reach everybody and to give everybody something on that. And I'll let you know because I pay attention to the whole sport. And but of course I pay attention to CU because of Deion Sanders so much so that I know every player on that team and I've followed them and y'all know a whole lot about Colorado. And that's where my largely my fan base is. So thank y'all, Buff Nation, for supporting me and bringing me in as one of y'all own. I want to say that again. Um, Up until later on, y'all keep it on, keep watching me. This ain't your coaches and pros, your X's and O's. This is the fans' point of view and what I know. So let's go. Peace.